Quite a long time ago, I was religious, but I didn't know that. If anybody had asked me what is my religion, I would have given a typical answer like, I'm a Methodist, I'm a Lutheran, I'm a Catholic, I'm a Baptist. I don't hold to those definitions anymore. My definition has become, in a sense, more narrow and perhaps more simplistic. I would say, if anyone said, are you a Christian? What is your religion? First I would say, yes, I'm a Christian. So what kind of Christians are there? What kind of Christians am I? I would say I'm a believer. Now there are a lot of Christians, I believe, who are ensconced in pews and church houses that they're religious, but they're not true believers. I believe you have to cross a certain line to get to that. And in this revised video I'm presenting, I'd like to talk a little bit about what does it mean to be a believer? Because you're either a believer or you're not. Oh yes, you can go to church. Oh yes, you can be a Catholic or a Lutheran or a Methodist or a Baptist. But it's not that complicated. You're either a believer or an unbeliever.
I became a believer, and when I'm speaking of believing, I'm speaking about believing in the gospel of Jesus Christ, the Son of God, as proclaimed in the Holy Bible. I was an unbeliever until recently, until very late in my life. I wouldn't say recently, but it's been a couple of decades now. And before that time, I was a churchgoer. I was a religious person, as most of you, I suppose, are. Even those of you who are religiously anti-God and anti-Christian or anti-something else. There is no God. I don't know what I believe or whatever. Well, I was, at one time, perhaps you'd call me a New Ager, but I was a church-going New Ager. But I didn't really know God in church, and institutional church, I thought, was a reasonable place to be, and it was a good social connection. And it had its moments of cultural and aesthetic high points. I liked it, but it had no power. I was not persuaded. My soul was not changed. What does it take to be a believer? There's a place in 2 Corinthians chapter 11 that talks about three factors. You have to have the right gospel, you have to have the right Jesus, and you have to have the right spirit. Now, even through the Bible, people have been misguided and misdirected into a variety of different ways. Some of them cultish. And outside of Christianity, of course, they don't have Jesus as Messiah, Savior, and Lord. They don't have any sense that God is forgiving, forbearing. They don't believe that God is a worker of miracles and signs and manifest His power today. These things are missing. So if you have the wrong spirit, being a Christian, that is, if you're vengeful, if you're antagonistic, unforgiving, dogmatic, hateful, you are in fact not living up to the standards or the definition of being a believer. The gospel is good news. It is the power of God to literally transform your life and make you into a new creation. The concept of being born again is a reality, but in order to approach and access this reality, you have to first believe that God is ready to hear you and is listening and cares about your situation and your destiny. That's the first step in touching God.